What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today we have a very interesting semi-automatic shotgun for you guys. So this is the Typhoon F12 semi-automatic 12 gauge, and this is actually not mine. So a lifelong friend that I've known for probably 20 years at this point got a hold of me a couple weeks ago and said he just ordered a really cool shotgun and wondered if I would try it out, to which I responded, I guess. No, I was really excited to try it, especially when he showed me what it was. So I do not know a ton about these guns. There's obviously a million semi-automatic shotguns out there now that look a lot like this, but most of them are pretty cheap, and this one definitely wasn't. So it feels nice, it looks nice. I'm excited to try it. Let's load a magazine and see if it works. All right, guys, very first shots from the Typhoon F12. Now, one thing I want to say is the instructions emphasize quite a bit that this does need a break-in period of a couple hundred rounds. So if we get some malfunctions, we won't be too hard on it. And to help prevent that, we are going to use some high brass Buckshot out of our 5-round magazines here. It also said to use Buckshot for the break-in period. So we're kind of doing everything wrong, but I have faith. Let's see if it works. Look at that. That was extremely soft shooting for a 12 gauge shotgun, and I know semi-autos are usually better at managing recoil, but that might be one of the softest 12 gauges I've ever shot. So let's do it again. I absolutely love this thing. The controls feel a lot like an AR, but it has that expensive gun feel, if you know what I mean. So let's try the 10-round mags. All right, we only got 9 rounds in it because the spring pressure got pretty stiff, and that looks awesome. This is a perfect example of why you can't judge a magazine capacity based off looks, because that looks ridiculous, but it only holds 10 rounds of 12 gauge shotgun shells. So let's see if this one works. Again, absolutely perfect. And by the way, this thing does have an adjustable gas block for different types of ammo, but I've just left it on the factory setting, and so far it seems to be working great. Let's try some low brass target loads. This will probably be a tough test for it because these are quite a bit less powerful, but let's see if they work. Once again, flawless. It's absolutely incredible how fast you can take the paint off of a target with a 12 gauge shotgun. I love it. One thing we have to do with every shotgun is clear the Texas Star. I think I barely got that last one. Whew. I have noticed the low brass does not feel like it has any less recoil than the high brass. They all just kind of feel the same, which isn't a bad thing. Well, we know it'll run birdshot, which is usually the toughest test for these semi-auto shotguns, but let's try some more powerful stuff. So this is the Black Aces double-aught Buckshot, and this is more like what most people would probably use for home defense. So we're gonna do 2 of these just to make sure it actually cycles. Once again, cycled perfectly. And I honestly do not feel a difference in recoil between any of these different shotgun shells. They all feel about the same, which might be something to do with the gas system. I'm not really sure. But one thing I just noticed is whenever you shoot this thing, the recoil spring is visible underneath the handguard, which is kind of unique. Next up, we have some Sterling double-aught Buckshot. This is not quite as hot as the Black Aces, but let's see if it works. Man, for double-aught Buckshot, that was very soft shooting. Wow. And we've got some Wolf double-aught Buckshot. There's the wad. The recoil on this thing really is blowing my mind. I mean, I've shot quite a few semi-auto shotguns, and this is right up there with the best of them in terms of recoil, for sure. And some Winchester hollow point slugs. These things are shoulder breakers in pump action shotguns, so let's see how it feels. More recoil, but nowhere near as bad as a pump shotgun. Well, so far, I cannot think of anything I don't like about this. After reading the instructions, I was honestly expecting it to not work because they emphasize the break-in period so much. I just expected it to be unreliable, at least for the first couple hundred rounds. But it has ran everything we've put through it pretty much flawlessly. I did notice the adjustable buttstock kind of wiggles a little bit, but that's not a huge deal. And there are a lot of these semi-auto shotguns out there these days, and a lot of them are very cheap. This is not one of them. I think this was like 12 to 1,300 bucks or something like that, so it is expensive, but I can definitely feel the difference. It's very nice. Well, that target's getting pretty beat up. Let's see if we can paint it and look cool at the same time. Missed the target, but I hit the spray paint can. This might be one of my new favorite semi-automatic shotguns. This thing is awesome. Let's try a Firebird target. That ought to wake up the neighbors. One of my favorite things about shotguns is the amount of destruction they cause and the speed at which they can clear off an entire table of targets. For example, they're all gone. I managed to squeeze 10 rounds into that magazine, and it wasn't easy. That might be the first time I've ever caught a ricochet from birdshot pellets. That was painful. And one downside to semi-auto shotguns is the amount of shells you can blow through in a very short amount of time. But as you can see, the ejection looks to be very consistent. They're all going in about the same spot. All right, guys, there you have it, the Typhoon F12 semi-automatic 12 gauge shotgun. I've never seen any other videos on these, so I'm not sure what the general consensus is, but in this sample size of one, I am very impressed and pleasantly surprised. I didn't have the highest expectations for it because, you know, oftentimes these semi-automatic shotguns can be kind of finicky, but this one worked very well, and it also felt incredible to shoot. Let me know what you guys think about this, and if you have any experience with the Typhoon F12, I'd be glad to hear from you guys as well. If you liked the video, please let me know down in the comments below, and as always, hit that like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.